What's up, sports fans? Welcome back to the Roger Report, where we keep you on the pulse of everything happening in the world of sports. First up, the New York Giants' own Russell Wilson is back in the spotlight, and boy, did he deliver. After a rough start to the season and whispers about his future with the team, Wilson stepped up huge in a high-octane showdown against the Dallas Cowboys. But the action doesn't stop there. We're diving deep into the fantasy football landscape, where Amon-Ra St of the Detroit Lions is reminding everyone why he's a top-tier talent. After a quiet week 1, St. Brown exploded for a massive performance, lighting up the stat sheet and giving fantasy managers a reason to cheer. And in some feel-good news, we're taking a peek behind the helmet to see how Russell Wilson balances his demanding NFL career with his family life. He's sharing how playtime with his kids, especially with a new Hot Wheels partnership, is more than just fun. It's about building character and creating lasting memories. Finally, we're dissecting that nail-biting Giants versus Cowboys game where Russell Wilson showcased a vintage performance that had everyone talking. Was it a sign of things to come, or a fleeting moment of brilliance? We've got all the angles covered. Stick around, smash that like button, subscribe to the Roger Report, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Russell Wilson delivers vintage performance amidst Giants' QB uncertainty. Was Russell Wilson washed? After a dismal Week 1, the whispers grew louder for the New York Giants quarterback. But in a stunning Week 2 performance against the Dallas Cowboys, Wilson didn't just answer the call, he roared it, throwing for an incredible 450 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game that went down to the wire. This wasn't just a good game, it was a statement. With his starting job seemingly on the line and rookie Jackson Dart looming, Wilson silenced the critics with a 30 for 41 passing clinic, showcasing the arm strength and decision-making that made him a Super Bowl champion. He led the Giants through a back-and-forth thriller, even connecting on a stunning 48-yard touchdown pass to Malik Neighbors late in the game that looked like vintage Wilson. "You gotta respond in the midst of adversity," Wilson declared after the heartbreaking overtime loss. "I know how talented I am. I know what I'm capable of. I don't need somebody to convince me of that." His performance not only solidified his place as the Giants' leader for now, but also propelled him to the top of the NFL in passing yards through 2 weeks. Fans and analysts are buzzing, with rookie Jackson Dart himself admitting, "Russ is a future Hall of Famer, so I never really understood the criticism." While the long-term outlook for Wilson's starting role remains a topic of debate, this game was a powerful reminder of his enduring talent and competitive fire. But can Russell Wilson keep this up against tougher defenses? And what about the fantasy football implications of these Week 2 performances? We're diving into the fantasy football bounce-back kings next. Fantasy football Week 2, bounce-back stars shine, but tread carefully. After a Week 1 that left many fantasy managers scratching their heads, Week 2 saw several key players explode back onto the scene, none more dramatically than Russell Wilson. His 450-yard, 3-touchdown performance against the Cowboys was a fantasy goldmine, a stark contrast to his Week 1 struggles and a massive boost for those who stuck with him. But Wilson wasn't the only one making waves. Amon-Ra St. of the Detroit Lions, after a quiet opener, posted a jaw-dropping 38.5 PPR points, dominating his matchup against the Chicago Bears secondary with multiple touchdowns. This resurgence from both players highlights a critical fantasy dilemma, which Week 2 performance is real. While Wilson's deep ball prowess returned with a vengeance, fantasy analysts caution that the Giants' upcoming schedule is brutal, with few favorable matchups for their passing game. Similarly, while St. Brown and the Lions' offense looked dominant, their success was heavily tied to favorable matchups. The advice? Trade high on these bounce-back players while their value is peaking, as future success might be matchup dependent. The fantasy world is also dissecting the performances of others like C.D. Lamb, Dak Prescott, and George Pickens, with mixed outlooks based on their respective schedules. The key takeaway is to analyze matchups and be ready to capitalize on peak value. It's one thing to dominate on the field and in fantasy, but what happens when these stars step off the gridiron? We're exploring Russell Wilson's heartwarming family life and a surprising new partnership next. Russell Wilson, blending NFL grit with family fun. Beyond the roar of the crowd and the pressure of game day, Super Bowl champion Russell Wilson is a devoted family man. With 4 children, including 2 under 6, Wilson emphasizes the importance of playtime as a cornerstone of his family's life, weaving valuable lessons into every moment. Wilson shared that playtime is the perfect, joyful space to teach his kids about perseverance, teamwork, and learning from mistakes, drawing parallels to his own NFL career. "Football has taught me that success doesn't come without setbacks," Wilson explained. "I try to show my kids that mistakes aren't failures, they're opportunities to learn and grow." This philosophy extends to his recent partnership with Hot Wheels for their new Speed Snap track system, a campaign he calls a no-brainer, given his son Wynn's love for the brand. The innovative Hot Wheels track system, the most significant in over 30 years, snaps together easily, empowering kids to build and create. Wilson sees it as more than just a toy. It's a tool for fostering creativity, confidence, and critical thinking. He even admits to often wanting to be the race announcer during his kids' play sessions, highlighting his engagement and joy in their activities. Despite the demanding schedule of an NFL quarterback, Wilson insists that family time is non-negotiable. "No matter how busy our schedule gets, being present with my kids keeps me grounded. They remind me of what really matters." Through his lifestyle brand 3 brand, Wilson continues to inspire youth, focusing on faith, family, and fashion to empower children to feel confident and expressive. But even with his strong family values, the pressure is always on for elite performance on the field. We're breaking down Russell Wilson's incredible comeback game against the Cowboys and what it means for the Giants next. Giants let vintage Russell Wilson performance slip away in overtime thriller. In a game that had all the makings of a classic, the New York Giants experienced a painful reminder of how fleeting moments of brilliance can be. Russell Wilson delivered a performance reminiscent of his prime, throwing for a spectacular 450 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys, only for the Giants to fall short in a heartbreaking overtime loss. After a dismal Week 1 performance that had fans and media questioning his future, Wilson responded with a 73% completion rate and an average of 11 yards per attempt, showcasing the dynamic playmaking ability that once defined his career. The Giants and Cowboys traded blows in a wild 4th quarter and overtime, with Wilson connecting on crucial deep passes that had New York on the brink of a massive upset. It was a vintage display, a rare gem in what has otherwise been a challenging period for the veteran quarterback. However, the Giants' defense couldn't hold, and a costly turnover sealed their fate. This loss is particularly stinging because it represented a golden opportunity squandered. As one analyst put it, "These blasts from the past are like coming across a rare Pokémon in the wild. You only get one chance to catch them, and the Giants let this one escape." The reality is that such vintage performances from the 36-year-old Wilson are becoming increasingly rare. While he may still be a starting-level quarterback, the infrastructure around him in New York and the natural decline of age suggest that replicating this level of play consistently is unlikely. The Giants needed to capitalize on this outlier game, and their inability to close it out means they've likely missed out on one of their best offensive explosions of the season. So, what's the takeaway from this roller coaster of a week in the NFL? We're wrapping it all up with a rapid-fire recap and a full call to action: don't go anywhere. And that's a wrap on another electrifying episode of the Roger Report. We saw Russell Wilson answer the call with a massive 450-yard game for the Giants, Amon-Ra St, Brown dominate fantasy football, and got a heartwarming glimpse into Russell Wilson's family life. We also broke down that thrilling Giants-Cowboys clash. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Roger Report for all your daily sports updates, hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment, leave us a comment with your thoughts on the games, and follow us on all our social media channels. We'll see you next time.